Yeah, I already got my glasses on because I've been in them all day. Hair comb, face wash, body cover. Greetings and salutations. You see me acting goofy, telling you what I'm got going on, so y'all know what I'm doing, right? I'm answering your questions. Let me adjust this table. Yeah, there. Um, yeah, I had to make sure I told y'all, my hair was combed because guess what? Y'all have not seen my hair in a while. I mean, I was relaxing stretching, so the hair wasn't always combed. And yeah, I kind of missed my hair. I had to go on and get that good fresh relaxer. Kind of missed my hair. Like August, I went no heat, and yeah, ended up with instead of the usual. You're not supposed to relax your hair till you have get your relaxer until well, safely until you have 2 inches of new growth. Ended up with three, but then it kind of went out in the wash because I ended up losing uh, an inch of new growth. So yeah, but right now my hair goes down my neck. So hey, so but yeah, I'm making goofy. Any housekeeping? Oh, we might be getting a crockpot series of food, the different foods other than like uh what you call what are we making? Oh, beef stew, pot roast, things of that nature. I might be showing y'all different things that I make that you will not believe I make in a crock pot. So yeah, I might be doing that. So stay tuned. The weather is getting chilled. It's not chill, but the temperatures are lowering. So like today was like a high of 82 and it's September. So yeah, we might be doing that. So and I have all these recipes that I want to do. I have these cravings for things. So yeah, we'll see about we'll see, but we should be, like I said, that was the idea that my best friend LJ brought to me. So yeah, so and a couple of y'all were kind of interested in that. So yay! I had asked y'all back in the early part of the year, so some of y'all got back with me. So good. Okay, so that you will be getting a story time. I think the last video we was talking about coffee dates and church dates. So we're gonna get a fictional story about the reason why I don't prefer church dates. So yeah, that's something we'll be talking about. And anything else? Oh, and then of course, we have I already know the topic of the next talk about it is. So, it kind of coincides with one of the questions of today. Today we have three questions. We don't have to wait till I put my glasses on. So yeah, let's get started. We have like I said, one I got to be more chatty about, and then two they just kind of fun ones. Well, one is a total fun one. Like it was fun to me, but y'all know how I am. Okay, so let's get started. Question number one. Um, I see a lot of women. Oh, do y'all remember the minister that I told y'all I can't say I grew up with him, but his church is down the street from my church, and we were around the same age, and we walk in kind of the same circles. Okay. He had a question, and we saw each other recently. He was like, "Hey, I gotta email you," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool." So, cause remember I was at Foundation Church, so I was down the street from his church also, and yeah, he saw me, and he was like, "Hey," I'm like, "Oh, okay, cool." So yeah, here is the question. I see a lot of women talking about grieving their good girl life. Is that a thing? Did slash or do you or no did or slash do you grieve your good girl life? Okay, I've seen this. I know what you're talking about. Um, People have been talking about that. I saw it on Instagram first, then I've seen more videos on was it TikTok? Now that I'm on there and paying attention. Um, I did not grieve my good girl life because I did not have a good girl life. I live a boring life. But the parts that are not boring it's not a good girl life. I can't say I lived life. You know, I lived life in the shadows. While people are always, you know, like I learned early on, like my young adult life, you know, like when I graduated from high school, really, yeah, when I graduated from high school, I'll go into, when we talk about the next talk about it, I'll go into more detail into it. But on why I did started living like that, people were trying to, you know, oh, she's gonna do this, she's gonna do that. Well, you know what? While y'all looking for me to drop down, I just went on to live my life, which was, and I did all the foolishness that everybody else was doing, you know. So yeah, so I did not have a good life, but I do know women, um, who do grieve their good girl life. Like when we say good girl life, they did all the right things. You know, they didn't. Um, you know, they didn't. They don't. You know, they did all the things, regardless if it's purity culture or respectability politics and all that kind of stuff. You know, they don't. They wear, you know, the right clothes. You know, they don't have their butts hanging out. They boobs out and all that kind of stuff. They don't party. They don't. Of course, they're not birds and beesing. You know, outside of marriage, or you know, some of those type of people. They did all the right things. They got the good job. They took care of their health. They did this. They work in the community. They volunteer. They do all the stuff. They work. Those of them, those that go to church, they work in church. They do all the things, and now they're not married. They're in their 30s and their 40s, and they're not married. Hold on, guys. Sorry, God, Medieval called, and yeah, that's important. But yeah, I mean, not that what she was talking about, but I need to take that call, okay? Because it's Medieval, okay. Anyways, if y'all don't know, that's what we call mom on this. My mom on this on here, Medieval, okay. My diva, Medieval. Anywho, they did all the right things, and now they're in their 30s and their 40s, and they're still not where they want. They feel like society they're supposed to be, whether they're supposed to be married, whether they are married. You know, they got the husband. You know, those who got the husband and they had the perfect marriage. You know, all that kind of stuff, and they still don't. They still don't have the kids. They still don't have the white picket fence house and all that kind of. There are people who really do because they live the good life. Now, you know that and I understand why they grieve that, because then they finally broke out of that, but then it's still like, oh my God, you know, these things happen. Yeah, you know, or those who did end up with it, they still are like, life was kind of different, you know, kind of better that way. You know, I got the husband, and now I have to perform as a wife all the time, you know, and those kind of things, you know. So I get it. I mean, it is a thing, you know, and I mean, whether I believed it or not, it's still a thing because someone feels that way. So, you know, but it is a thing. Um, it's understandable, you know. Everybody, you know, some men taunted, were upset that, what is her name? Jasmine Sullivan. It is Scissor. I think it's Scissor. Yeah, Scissor. They had that song, and they, I can't remember, so I'm gonna put it up here when I think of the song. But there was a line they said, you know, these 304s be winning, you know, and you gonna make a 304 out of me. I mean, y'all, it's not like it's not wrong. It's not, you know, they're not saying something that, you know, I'm sorry, but you know, this whole you can't make a 304 into a housewife, that's a cotton picking story, because there's a whole lot of them out here. Or even those who were not 304s, they were still doing things, you know. These chicks out here, out here hardly working. Okay. But I got the, you know, folks who have the good degrees, and they, you know, taking care of themselves, and they know how to cook. There's women out here that don't know how to cook out here, snagging husbands. Kind of daunting to some people, okay? So, you know, it's stuff like that, you know, you get it, you know. So yeah, they grieve their life, because, you know, had I went on and acted like them or did this, maybe I'd be further along. You know, sometimes I be like, some of my good morals, I be like, the good morals that yeah, I don't walk around, I'm not a dancer, pole dancer. There's a lot of women out here making a whole who could buy me and sell me cheap because they dance, they're pole dancers and those kind of, dancers in those type of clubs. Okay, I mean, yeah. I mean, other than the fact that I'm not one because all I know to do is line dance and do a little shimmy, you know, but still, what's stopping me? So yeah, I get it. But yeah, I do believe that it's a thing. I did not grieve one because I did not live the good girl life per se. Like I said, I live a kind of boring life, but what life do I do live? It's not the good girl life. It's just, yeah, we'll talk about that later. But, yeah. Okay. Um, Question number 2 is from Squadcast. Um, your partner has been with, and when I say with, birds and bees, one of your friends, or your partner hates all your friends. I'm going to say I would choose. When we talk about a versus thing, I would prefer a partner that's been with one of my friends. I'm going to tell you why. You may not like my friends, but you cannot hate my friends. Hate is a very strong word. And my thing is, when we start saying the word hate, that means that eventually I'm going to have to choose. Or eventually you're going to seclude me from them. Eventually I'm going to be uncomfortable to have you and them around me. We can't all be in the same spot. I don't like stuff like that. That sounds very controlling. That's the best word I can say is controlling. I won't use that A word. But it is, it is a little controlling to me when you talk about you hate. And that's either way. If I don't want to, I would dislike your friends, but when you say hate, that means you don't even want to be around them. And that's not to say that my friends come before my partner, but we can't be about each other only. And for me, someone that I want to date, a man that I want to date, you have to have your own friends and your own interests. Because I have my own friends and my own interests. Okay? We can't be up under each other. We got to have some space. When we have space, we have to have these other outlets. And if you hate my other my whole all of them, yeah, you don't have to like them, but you have to, when you start hating people, there's no respect. And I can't do that lack of respect situation. Yeah, I can't do that. So yeah, I'd rather you've been with one of them. It's probably a hope. It's not no hopefully. It better be before me. It better be y'all didn't know. Y'all didn't know that it was some time ago. Like, okay, I'm in my big fours. Y'all were back in college. Y'all just oh, okay. Oh, you went to Grambling. Blah blah blah. And then oh yeah, I know blah blah blah. And then, because all my friends didn't go to college, didn't go to college. I have friends that, you know, you know, after, after I left school, or before, I got 2 friends that, come from high school. So, it's possible. I'd rather that and as a point, as a purpose of you hate. Because at least, my friends would know, hopefully, that just because you've been with this my partner does not mean we need to discuss. So me and my friends, we don't discuss whether you've been with them or not. We don't discuss our that part of our relationship with our with our partners, with our friends. We don't do that. So okay. Question number 3: what is the nastiest soda out there? The one you'd avoid even if it was the only drink left. Root beer. I don't. A&W, Barks, store brand. I do not like root beer. Root beer is not just disgusting to my taste buds. It tastes just like what it is. It tastes like a licorice. I do not like licorice. It's too sweet, and it's just I don't like it. I'm not crazy about cream soda either. So yeah, don't go too far because I don't want that either. But at least I can put some lemon in cream soda and water it down, and yeah, I might have like overly sweet lemonade. But root beer, yeah, no, there is no improvement of root beer. That stuff is, ugh. And yeah, I'd rather go on and I know I will. Sometimes you want something with a little flavor. If only thing that's with a little flavor was root beer and water, I'm drinking water. Probably the only way I would drink root beer if it was the only options available. Like the water supply was contaminated, and the other only option was probably beer itself. Regular beer. The hops. Those kind of things. I drink the root beer then. But other than that, no, I'm not drinking that stuff. I drink. I'm not a fan of sweet tea. You put a lemon in and stuff, a flavor or something. But mostly, put some lemon in that. I'll drink cloyingly sweet tea before I drink root beer. So yeah, root beer is that drink. It is that soda. So yeah. Okay, other than that, that is the end of the questions. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please shoot them down below of this video on the social media site that you see this on, except Facebook. Facebook, you leave yours down below on the video. Or you can always shoot me an email at the email address that is in the description box, okay? Yeah, so, oh, and of course, if you want to answer these questions, those of you who is grieving a good girl life, let me know. Talk about it. This is a safe space. We're not gonna argue, but we don't argue over here. We respect everybody's opinion. Would you rather your partner be with one of your friends, or your partner hates all your friends? And what is the nastiest soda that is out there that you won't drink, even if you'll rather go on and drink water, or whatever. You'll just go on and drink water. You don't need no flavor. So yeah, what is that soda? Yeah, you can leave me do all of those things, and yeah. Other than that, talking to you in adult terms.